member for Calgary Edgemont.
Alberta's Commission of Learning released a report. Every child learns, every child succeeds. It urged the government to establish and implement province-wide guidelines for average class sizes. I'm hearing from concerned families of these guidelines that are being ignored with overcrowded classrooms. Classrooms are becoming more complex. I have classrooms in my riding with 27 students when the recommendation is 17, with no educational assistant. Why has the minister failed to follow these guidelines for reasonable class sizes for students and ensure that we have the right number of teachers and EAs?
The Honourable the Minister of Environment.
Or education.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's okay. We all have an off day. You know, it's no big deal. Mr. Speaker, we are taking those conclusions very seriously, and we are very concerned with making sure that our students have the most optimal conditions in their classroom. That's exactly why our government has made a historic investment of $8.5 billion to build over 90 new schools across the province, modernize over 24 schools, and expand spaces with other providers to make sure that every student has access to world-class facilities and ample room for a positive learning environment, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Edgemont.
Given that I'm talking about staff and not buildings, and given that I have families write me and share with me on the doors how desperate they are for proper supports for their children, and given that I have tearful moms like Zoya who come to my office to tell me about their high-needs coded child who does not have an educational assistant at all, and given that some children do not even have access to psychoeducational assessments, can the Minister of Education tell me why he won't work with passing Bill 208 with me?
The Honourable Minister of Education, as it turns out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Happy to continue to debate the member's bill as we have during a private member's business. Mr. Speaker, working to support our youngest learners is a top priority of this government. That is why we have mandated additional screening in literacy and numeracy starting in kindergarten. That'll start this January for the first time ever, and in grades 1, 2, and 3. A move that has received a positive recommendation from groups like Dyslexia Canada and others, and they have encouraged other provinces to follow our lead. We will be there for our youngest learners, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member of Calgary Edgemont.
Given that an Alberta educational assistance workforce is made up of 94% women, and these women are working a very high-demand job that is essential for our children and their education, and given that the average wage of an EA is $26,000, well, Alberta's living wage is $45,000, everyone should be able to live in have a decent wage. Given that, we need to properly value the work that these women do in our classrooms. Will the Minister of Status of Women join me in my call to give educational support workers a raise, showing that you value and respect the work of women in the industry?
The Honourable Minister of Education and Prison.
Mr. Speaker, we absolutely do value the incredible work that our educational assistants, teachers, and other staff are doing in our world-class education system. And Mr. Speaker, we will be there to make sure that our education system responds to the incredible growth that we're seeing. Unlike the members opposite, they've never had to experience these kind of challenges because when they were in government, they closed businesses, they jacked up taxes, they drove investors away, and they had to deal with the opposite concerns of people fleeing the province. Actually, they went so far as to tell Albertans to leave Alberta altogether and find jobs elsewhere. We've reversed the trend, and our province is back and booming, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member